Mama Rebecca Nyandengdit, welcome back from Addis.
Thank you.
And thank you for giving us this time to speak to Radio SPLM. From your own experience, you've been in Addis, and South Sudanese consider you as a mother of nation and an eminent personality. You've gone to Addis and now you're back. Can you briefly tell us what you saw in Addis?
Yeah, thank you for this opportunity that you are feeding people of South Sudan with this radio. We went to Addis with a lot of expectation.
Yes.
That the countdowns has come closer, and all of us were expecting. But I will put it a way that Dr. John used to say, that the expectation is a function, the disappointment is a function of expectation. So really, people were disappointed because they were highly expecting that peace will be signed on the 17th. And this will end the bloodshed and hunger and diseases in Southern Sudan. But when it was not signed, the room was very gloomy. And especially when President Salva did not put his ink into the paper. There was a jubilation on the side of Dr. Riek and Pagan and the other stakeholders. A lot of jubilation was there, but still sadness was setting in on people because the government and President Salva Kiir is still a president of everybody. He is the one who does not know, including all the people, including those of Dr. Riek, even though they are denying because of actions that he is doing according to his administration. He's the president of South Sudan.
Yes.
We are disputing his administration. So when he did not put ink into the paper, the disappointment was greater. But he has hanged, the way I saw it, I will put it that he has hanged himself. Because you cannot disappoint people who voted you in. People of South Sudan voted Salva in, including those he has killed. They are the one who voted him in to be our president. They are the one who voted for referendum of South Sudan. So the situation in Addis, including the international community, was so bad day for all of us.
Okay, thank you for that. On your own view, what do you think about the process now that President Kiir failed to put his ink in there? Whatever another stakeholders have signed, what is your own view?
I think what we need to do is to wait and see whether he will honor what he said. Because for me, I will not predict President Salva Kiir because he would say something now and later change it. It's not only Madame Rebecca who knows him for that. He has shown himself to the whole world that he will say something today and change it tomorrow. But if he does not listen to the voice of concern, then he will face the music. Yeah.
All right, Mama, we saw you and other women breaking in tears at the ceremony, signing ceremony. Why did that happen? Why?
It happened because it was the situation was really very bad. Because none of us, and especially myself, and some of the ladies who were widows by the war of 1983 to 2005.
Yes.
But none of us, like myself, wish that sons and daughters of South Sudan will fall after Dr. John Garang. And I said in my speech when my husband was being buried, that I hope the blood of John Garang has cleansed Southern Sudan like the blood of Jesus Christ. I didn't know that our people were going to die. I also said during that funeral, I will not cry unless people of South Sudan are not implementing the CPA and they are not putting South Sudan together and we are not implementing our objectives as SPLM. That I was so emotional that two things came to my mind. I keep South Sudan together during demise of late Dr. John Garang de Mabir.
Yes.
I hold my tears back. But when I saw those people Dr. John Garang died for them, were being slaughtered like goats, and I thought that President Salva will come to his senses that to end that. As a leader of people of South Sudan, he turned around and said that he was going to consult. I did not know whom were he going to consult with. He was going to consult with who? He consulted on Friday, on Sunday, and he came to Addis and he delayed all the leaders of the region waiting for him. When he came at the last hour, he said that he was going to consult. Who is there in Juba? Everybody wanted peace to come to Southern Sudan. So this is what brought tears to my eyes to see in these 2 weeks Salva Kiir asked, people of South Sudan will continue dying. And like yesterday, there was a war in Pagari.
Yes.
And that there are people who have died. But people of South Sudan have taken death of people, simple like they're slaughtering chickens or goats, even the animals. We value their life. Leave alone human being, a good creature that God has created. A special being is being slaughtered in South Sudan like nothing. So this is what brought my tears.
So humanity is not respected in South Sudan?
No.
And the expectation of the people of South Sudan was not met by President Kiir?
People are nothing for him because he does not see people as people. Because if he could bring all the tanks around his palace, then who's going to protect people of South Sudan? So people of South Sudan are nothing.
They are nothing to him.
To him, because the tanks are for defense of the sovereignty of a country called Southern Sudan and its people, not the presidency. There are few people who surrendered himself with the tanks. The use of tanks in Southern Sudan is to protect the president and those who think that they have power. And the second is those who are being threatened, their life are being threatened, then the tanks are brought and all these things. So people are nothing in Southern Sudan.
All right, Mama, we also heard during the signing ceremony that President Museveni of Uganda left the venue and President Kiir tried to leave but was prevented by Ethiopian authority. Did that happen?
Yeah, this is because, when people are not in the picture, they will not understand really what was going on. President Museveni in the evening, according to the explanation that we got, in the evening he asked permission from the chair of IGAD that he will be leaving at 10. For him, he was expecting that because according to the agreement, President Salva agreed in the evening at 10 that peace will be signed. So President Museveni scheduled his trip to be at 10. So we were asked to come to the hall at 9. So all of us were there at 8:30, expecting that everything was finished. We waited and nothing happened. So President Museveni asked permission that he has to go because he was there for 3 days. So for me, I didn't see that as a protest. Okay. And he left his foreign minister and some of his staff were left behind. Yeah.
So President Kiir also tried to leave?
President Kiir, I saw him going. I did not get any explanation about his going. But what I learned later, that he was called back.
He was called back?
Yes. He was called back to come and witness. If he doesn't want to sign, he should witness those others who are going to sign. The other stakeholders, Dr. Riek Machar and Pagana Mom, he was going to witness them. He said there, and this is the painful part of it, I was telling you. For him to be sitting there and not signing was very painful for people of South Sudan to see that.
It was very painful.
Yeah.
In the stage that we have reached now so far, other stakeholders, including the opposition leader, Dr. Riek Machar, have signed the deal, and President Kiir has failed. Do you think IGAD and international community will have another way of implementing that agreement?
He was safe by him initialing agreement. That's what saved him.
That's what saved
him. If he were not to initial the agreement, things would have been very different. And this time, it was not an empty threat.
It was not
Plan B was going to be there. And the region was going to support that Plan B. Because, first of all, the leaders in Southern Sudan think that others are not human beings. Because the leaders of other countries, President Bashir, President Museveni, and then President Uhuru, were there before our president, instead of our president being there before all these leaders, because he's the one who's searching for peace. He's the one who came at the last hour, and he's the one who was sitting there trying to convince people to allow him not to sign the peace agreement. So he saved his soul by initialing this agreement. If he does not recognize and commit himself to what he has initialed, then he will face the music, as I said earlier.
He will face the music.
Yes.
All right. That's actually our next question. What if he failed to come back within 15 days that he has requested for?
The same thing will happen.
The same thing will happen.
Plan B will work.
Plan B will work.
Yes.
According to my own observations, President Kiir threatened journalists in Juba with death threats, and now the media in South Sudan, like SSTV, are misleading the people. How best do you think our people can get to learn about the context of the agreement, the proposed agreement that is signed by other parties?
I think I would say thank God that the agreement was not signed in Juba. Agreement was signed in Addis, so social media has picked up the agreement, and people are in touch with the social media. Because if you are talking about journalism, it's dead in Southern Sudan. No, there's no journalism. Because government, if it does not value the life of people, how can it value what they call social media? They don't even understand what is the work of social media. I've been saying this many times. The media is the mouth of the government. It is the mouth of the people, and it is the eye of the government. Because if the government wanted to be educated, you see people talk, and the government see and implement. You leave media to give you information from outside, because the eye of the government is not everywhere, but the media is everywhere. You listen to what the media is saying, and you adjust yourself according to what the media is an information. And if you have a good government will support the media, so that they can listen to what people are saying on the street. That's why, during the war in Ethiopia, and even in the bushes of South Sudan, we have what they call Radio SPLA. That radio really informed not only the masses of South Sudan, but the whole of Sudan and the whole world. The Radio SPLA was being listened everywhere. It was informing people, and it was also seconded by what they call message to all unit. Dr. John will be informing his people all the time. That's media. But now it's not there. It has been killed, like the people of South Sudan. So if you are talking about the media, there's nothing. But our people have to depend on social media. An agreement was signed in Addis. So these are free world where social media and the media are alive. So let them depend on social media and other medias.
Mama, we see you as a voice of the voiceless. And when you went to Addis, so many people were waiting to see something and to hear from you. Can you tell us, where do you see South Sudanese youth, the widows, the orphans that are left behind now? Where do you see them in 5 years' time? Do you see them uniting one time with all these messes that you have seen in the peace talk and even on the ground?
It is very unfortunate that we have poisoned our youth. We are the elders. Because first of all, to run a country or to run a nation, you need to educate your people all the time. A leader is there to lead the people and educate the people. It has been done in 21 years of the movement. Our youth were very cohesive, and that's why we won the war, because the war was fought by the youth. And after the death of late Dr. John Garang, the masses of South Sudan were blindfolded, and they were not able to hear anything. There's no education. I don't know whether blackboard is not there or chalk is not there. I don't know. So our youth we have poisoned them. At the same time, we do not give them an opportunity for them to learn a country that is called their country. Because majority of youth we have today were born during the war. So they don't know. If you find them, and I experienced this in Juba, they will be talking about Kenyan politics. Those who live in Uganda, talk about Uganda, talk about the Ugandan politics. But we need to educate our children so that they know their own politics, their own history, and even the geography of their country. They are not there. So we poison the youth. As for me, I pray every day for God to unite our children. Because nothing will help our children. Because of the leaders that I've seen today, they care about themselves. If you see the negotiation in Addis, people are concentrating on power sharings. Who's going to speak on behalf of the youth, women, and the wounded, the widows, the orphans? Who's going to talk on their behalf? This is another thing which I was crying for in Addis. Who's going to speak on behalf of these people? We recycle ourselves in the positions of the government instead of bringing youth to help us do the job that we could not do. We are doing everything. The donkey work, we are the one doing it. We recycle ourselves. We are taken from this position to another position. Youth does not have an opportunity to exercise their power and knowledge. Because the world has changed today, the world of gadget. And some of us does not even use computer. So we don't even know. And the children have named us BBC, born before computers. So we should give them an opportunity to be able to exercise their knowledge to help Southern Sudan. So what we have to depend on is to pray and learn from these mistakes that we have experienced. So we have to learn from these mistakes so that we don't have these problems anymore. Development will help. And delivering of the services, commitment of the youth in development of their own country will kill all these things. This tribalism and all this will be killed by commitments of government of South Sudan to commit the youth for youth to be part of development of their own country.
Thank you, Mama, for that. And before we end it, I want to take you back to our second question. What are the main obstacles now that the peace is signed? What are the main obstacles of peace in South Sudan?
That one until we sit down and see how we are going to implement the agreement, because signing agreement is one thing, but implementing and honoring the agreement is another. But the international community, the regional leaders, the IGAD Plus, and the UN, they have committed themselves to see into it, and even the United States of America, they commit themselves to see into it that this agreement is implemented. And also, during the signing of the agreement, the Minister of United Kingdom is the one who delivered the words of IGAD Plus. And he stressed on accountability, which was really very good, because if the accountability is not done, we will continue repeating the same mistakes again and again. So he said that those who were responsible to commit those atrocities must be brought to justice. Secondly, the hybrid court must be established so that these people are brought to books, which is really excellent. Some of us who are mothers wanted to see that. Some of us who are widows, we don't want our daughters to be widows again. So this was stressed, and this really, for me, I know that if they talk like this, they will be able to help us implement the agreement. So this time, this IGAD Plus is not toothless. They have their teeth.
They have their teeth.
Yes.
Mama Rebecca Nyandendit, and mother of the nation, you have orphans. There are widows in South Sudan suffering right now. Can you face the camera and tell them the message of hope that you can give? You can pray even for them, no problem.
I really don't know what to tell them. During our struggle, we kept our people with promises. We thought that these promises were holding something, but it was empty promises that we gave our people. This is the same thing we are doing now as leaders. But I wanted to tell the disadvantaged group in Southern Sudan, who has now increased in number, to keep hoping. A believer does not throw away hope. Hope is the life of a human being. And in the Bible says that you don't hope for things that you know. You hope for unknown. So let us hope for that unknown, and God will set us free. You say the truth, and the truth shall set you free. So I will continue to tell them that they hope for the best. In this case, there is no any human being who will help them but God. God loves Southern Sudan. God has blessed Southern Sudan with all those resources. The problem of Southern Sudan is not lack of God, is not lack of resources, it's us, the leaders, who are the greedy leaders in Southern Sudan. You know, I don't know what will people do with a lot of millions of dollars in their pockets. They don't even know the value of money. Some of them goes and dig the ground and bury the money. By the time they come back, they will find that money is spoiled. But you continue hoping. God of Southern Sudan still have resources for us there. Let us hope for unknown, and God will bless all people of Southern Sudan. A leader will come. We have our children. God will bless Southern Sudan with an energetic leader who will come and unite people of Southern Sudan, and we will wipe away the tears in our eyes. This is what I want to tell the people of Southern Sudan. You continue hoping, and the struggle is not over. We continue struggling until when we get our freedom. A freedom is not given. We will take our freedom ourselves.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you for making your time to speak to Radio SPLM.
Yes. Congratulations.